I knew I wanted to do a trek in Nepal for a long time. I'd been hesitating between a few of the different options. Initially, I was thinking of doing Annapurna, and then the opportunity to do Manaslu with a friend came up. And I looked into it, and it seemed like a wonderful option, a little bit less busy, with a guiding agency that seemed to know what it was doing. And in terms of timeline, it worked out quite well. So then, yeah, kind of took the jump and decided on the Manaslu circuit. So the Manaslu circuit we booked initially was for 12 days. We ended up extending it and doing 13 days. It starts at an elevation below 1,000 meters, I think 800. And the first 3 days are kind of through valleys and riverbeds, beautiful scenery, kind of through jungles, quite long days, about 20 kilometers a day for the first 3 days, 1,000 meter elevation gain each day. And then from that point, it starts decreasing a bit in terms of distance and time that we hike for, but we increase in altitude. We then start seeing very different types of scenery. And then as we gain altitude, we have more rest days so that we can adjust. We added a day so that we could do both a monastery sidewalk, but also the base camp walk, which I didn't get to do the base camp in the end due to injury, but I think it was really good to do that extra side hike to the monastery, and also just to get used to the altitude, because it gets tougher towards the end just because of the altitude. Yeah, it's hard to pick one for me because I thoroughly enjoyed every single day. I think it brought so much. It was so incredible. I was, just constantly amazed. I would say that sidewalk to the monastery was one of the most beautiful things I've ever done in my life by far. But a lot of days and moments where I was amazed by what I was seeing. So I really, really enjoyed it. I think physically it wasn't too hard. I'd done multi-day treks before, which I felt had been harder. And I wasn't particularly prepared for this one. So I thought it was the way that Places Nepal organized it was really, good in that it wasn't too challenging. I think the hard thing here is the altitude, but that again was cared for quite carefully. So no, I think it's definitely doable. The booking experience was incredibly seamless, I have to say, because I was going with a friend who was taking care of it more than me. I wasn't too involved, but the little involvement that I had to do was very easy. You guys were really responsive, really quickly, and the only thing I had to worry about was getting myself to Kathmandu, and I feel like the rest was taken care of, so that was really nice. Our guide Kapil was lovely. He was incredibly knowledgeable, very friendly. I feel like he really added to the experience. Any question we had, he was there to answer. It really felt like we were part of a team, all of us, which was so lovely. And you could see that he really went out of his way to make everything good for us. So I'm really, really grateful to have had him and for the experience. Altitude is difficult. And I learned about the Tibetan culture, the Nepali culture. I feel like I could somewhat interact with it and just see it in a different light, which I really appreciated. I think the fact that it wasn't overly touristy was just, allowed for a more intimate look at what life in the mountains was like. And I really appreciated that. I absolutely would recommend Places Nepal to friends and family if they're thinking of doing a trek in Nepal. Even myself, if I come back, I would not hesitate to book with you guys again.